We are going to discuss characteristics of foreign trade. We will also discuss that what are the major exports and imports of Pakistan. Along with it, we will discuss how we can improve the structure of foreign trade in Pakistan. Before going into the detail of trade, you people might have heard about exports. You people might have heard about imports. When exports are greater than imports, this condition is known as trade surplus. When exports are less than imports, this is known as trade deficit. Collectively, imports and exports are known as trade. This trade has some characteristics which we are going to discuss now. They are 9 in number: export of raw material and semi-finished goods, import of machinery and industrial raw material, import of agriculture products, increased use of petroleum products, import of services, and other invisible expenditures, limited trade relations, international trade by private sector, unfavorable balance of payments, and unfavorable terms of trade. These are the characteristics of trade structure of Pakistan. First is export of raw material and semi-finished goods. Pakistan exports raw material which can be further used as an inputs in production of something. And Pakistan also exports semi-finished goods which are known as intermediate goods also. And they can be used in the production of something. In the international market, the prices that we get of exports with the help of exports of raw material and semi-finished goods, they are low. That is why we do not earn higher income, higher money on our exports of raw material and semi-finished goods. The most dependence of export is cotton, cotton textile products, basmati rice. These are all the major export items. Second characteristic of exports in Pakistan is import of machinery and industrial raw material. Since we are not a capital intensive country, we do not produce capital, we do not have resources. Likewise, we are unable to produce machinery and industrial raw material. We import machinery and we import industrial raw material from international market. Since machinery and industrial raw material is expensive in nature, so that is why our imports are expensive. Third is import of agricultural products. We import agricultural products such as it's written here: soya bean oil, palm oil, tea, pulses, spices, and even wheat sometimes from other countries, which increases our import bill. Then is increased use of petroleum products. Pakistan do not have any petrol or oil reserves. The total imports of Pakistan, out of the total imports of Pakistan, 32% of the total import bill is dedicated to petroleum or related products. Why we import petrol? Why we are in need of too much oil? Because oil is used in industry. It is used by transport as well. and it is a general item which is used on daily basis in almost every business. Fifth is import of services and other invisible expenditures. Um, we import services such as we import them through foreign shipping companies. For instance, we import the sort of services which are related to foreign banks. For instance, some foreigners are coming to work here in foreign banks. We we have people who come in the form in order to work in the insurance companies. So that is why that import of services is also a burden on the imports of Pakistan or overall trade structure of Pakistan. Sixth is limited trade relations. Pakistan has limited trade relations with the countries of the world. We do not have international markets which are unnumerous in number, whereas we only have limited markets where we have trade relations, such as we have trade relations with UK, USA, Japan, European Union, and Middle East. Seventh is uh, because of limited trade relations, because of limited trade markets, we are unable to improve our trade structure. International trade by private sector. Most of the international trade in Pakistan is performed by the private sector. It is not controlled by the state-owned enterprises. Private sector deals with all types of business deals, and all the types of business deals is related to related to profits. It is not related to uh, anything that is beneficial for the state of Pakistan. Eighth is unfavorable balance of payments. Balance of payments, the structure of balance of payments is that BOP, there are two types of payments in BOP: incoming payments and outgoing payments. The incoming payments can be in any form. Let's say we earn through exports. The bill we receive through exports are incoming payments. Let's say we have aid, we take loan. These are all the incoming payments. Anything that is coming into Pakistan is becoming incoming balance of payments. Outgoing, for instance, we pay for imports, we give back our loans, we give back debt, we pay interest on loans. So all the outgoing payments in any form are outgoing balance of payments. When incoming balance of payment, incoming is greater than outgoing, that is positive BOP, positive balance of payments. When incoming is less than outgoings, that is negative BOP. In balance of payments, trade in this trade is one portion of the payments. Only one portion, that is based upon imports and that is based upon exports. Whereas there are certain other items in balance of payments as well. The, the point here is that we have unfavorable balance of payments. That means our incoming of the payments is less than the outcoming of the payments. When we pay more in any form for anything, And when we earn less in any form or from anything, that becomes unfavorable balance of payments. Unfavorable balance of payments is also because of trade deficit. It is also because of higher imports. Last is unfavorable terms of trade. Unfavorable terms of trade is that we import more, we export less, or the prices that we get on our exports are lower than the prices that we pay for our imports. These are the reasons of, these are the characteristics of foreign trade in Pakistan. Here are the major exports of Pakistan. Major exports of Pakistan are raw cotton, textile products, cotton, yarn, rice, leather and leather products, carpets and rugs, tents, synthetic textiles, surgical instruments, sports goods, ready-made garments, vegetable, fruit, fish, engineering goods, and chemical and pharmaceutical products. What we import machinery, petroleum, chemicals, vehicles, and spare parts, edible oil, wheat, tea, fertilizers, plastic material, paperboard, iron ore, and steel, pharmaceutical products. These are the major imports that we have. How we can increase the export, or how we can improve the trade structure, how we can improve the deficit. Pakistan in the trade structure is in deficit. Our imports are more, our exports are less. How can we improve the trade structure? How can we eliminate deficit? That is written here. Diversification of exports. We should export multiple types of products. We should have diversity in the exports. Increasing in diversity would lead to increase in the export bill. Trade facilitation. The producers who are producing something and they want to export, so we should facilitate them in order to have uh, easier pathway for doing exports. Third is increased market access. We should have access to more markets in the world, and according to the products we make, we should have access to those types of markets where our products can be sold, or where the demand of our products is higher. Fourth is enhancing export competitiveness by reducing cost of doing business. Uh, Enhancing export competitiveness means the comparison of what we export and what the world export. For instance, we export cotton to England and China exports cotton to England. If we will have lower cost of doing lower cost of producing cotton and China has higher cost of producing cotton, so people in the England will buy cotton from Pakistan, not from China. In order to increase the competitiveness, we should reduce the cost of doing business. We should reduce the cost of producing cotton. Fifth is capacity building and WTO on WTO and trade negotiations. World WTO is World Trade Organization. We should talk to them. Sorry, we should talk to them, and we should have trade negotiations on the products we export based upon the uh, restrictions that are imposed by WTO on Pakistan trade. Sixth is developing export of services. Pakistan's services sector is contributing maximum towards the GDP. We should also have trade in services. We should export services as well. Seventh, improving compliance of quality infrastructure. There are some quality measures that when we produce something, are they according to the standards of the world? Those quality measures are given by the WTO. Also, they are also named under the ISO certifications. If we produce something and the quality of that is up to the mark, up to the mark of international standard, so that is make improving compliance of quality infrastructure. If we do not have that compliance, that means we will not be having an ISO certification, ultimately will result in lower exports. We cannot increase our exports because world will not buy those products of low quality. Last is techno legal proposals. We should work on our legal deals, and uh, we should have these proposals in order to be presented them to in front of different industries in the world, which will ultimately lead to higher exports. These were the reasons that how we can increase our exports, and at the same time how we can improve our trade structure.